Elise and welcome to my channel. And I'm so glad that I had a chance to come and just talk to you a little bit about how I became successful at navigating the 401k that I use that's available to me through my job. And it's just how I did it. I'm by no means a professional. I'm not a financial advisor. So this is just going to be not advice, but just me explaining my process and what I did to navigate through it, because in the beginning I didn't know how to start. They don't teach you that. Again, in any schooling that I've had, they do not teach you. And I went to like the 25th grade, but they don't teach you about that. So I had to go out and just read the paperwork that was given to me by my employer and read books and read articles and watch YouTube videos. So the reason why is because like 401ks are the vessels that we have to invest for our retirement. It used to be pensions, but those are fading out and not many people have pensions, but a lot more American workers have access to a 401k. 401ks is all on the employee, pensions is all on the company. So with the pension, you wake up 30 years later and your job is going to sustain you to a certain extent in your retirement. I don't know anybody who has a pension though. Most people have 401ks. And in addition, most people who have 401ks do not utilize it to its fullest. And I didn't want to be one of those people. So it took a while. It was a process, but I'm so glad that I took the extra 30 minutes of a few months to look into like how to make this work out the best for me. And it's a must for the future because there are certain benefits that you get. Number one, most companies will give you a match. And I equate match with free money. Free money, sis, I'm going to get it. So let's say at my job, it was $50. The first $50 you invest, they were going to invest $50 too. So I would at minimum decide that I was going to invest $50. And if I could do more, I would. So that's what I did. And I actually started, I think, at $100 every paycheck. But that wasn't the match. It was a lot lower than that. But I wanted to make sure that I got at least the match so I can take advantage of the free money. Another benefit is that it's pre-tax. So all the money that I invest into my 401k is not considered part of my income when it comes time to filing my income taxes in the following year. So it brings it down so that when it comes time to figure out how much taxes you should have paid throughout the year from what you've withheld, it's going to be less, so you get more money back. So I was like, okay, another benefit. It may hurt to put that money away every week, but you know you're kind of going to get it, a little bit of it back with not having to pay the taxes. And also, I like the fact that I get to practice this thing called dollar cost averaging. And that means, let's say I did do the $50 every week. When the stock market is doing really well, I may be only able to buy 2 shares. But when it's doing really bad and everybody has sold and stock prices go down, I can buy 10 shares. And so that guarantees throughout the year, whenever there is a sale on the stock market, I'm going to get to be able to take advantage of it. And when there's not, there's not. You just buy the stock at the price that it is, and it's going to be higher. But I really like the thought of getting the stock market on sale. So my job allows me to do it every week. Some jobs, people get paid every 2 weeks. Regardless, if you are consistent throughout the 365 days of the year, dollar cost averaging is going to apply to you as well. So that's why it made sense for me to like try to take advantage of this vessel of investment that my employer offers me. And it's all about the long game here. The stock market on average, it's not short term at all. The stock market on average does return about 8%, but every year, so that's good. But it's not something that money that you should not invest any money in there that you need within, honestly, 30 years. But for sure, if you need it within 3 to 5 years, put that somewhere else, high yield savings account, but not in the stock market. Because once you put it in there, you cannot take it out without penalties. You have to pay tax penalties and early withdrawal penalties. It is not worth it. So anything I put in there, it's money that I can afford to not miss. And it started out really low. And then after 6-7 years, it's higher now, and I'm grateful for it. But it's all about like, you know, paying yourself first. Because not every day at work is the most exciting day. But you make it more worth it because, you know, you have something to save for it. Like on the days that are rougher. On the days that are not so rough, it's fine. But yeah, that's kind of why I like to invest in my 401k, because I'm going to average 8% every year, which it has happened. Over time, it's a little bit more. But like right now, a bond fund is 3%. A high yield savings account is only 3%. I mean, not only, that's good. It's high because it used to be 1% and 2%. So that's nice. High yield savings accounts kind of lit to be with a high yield savings account at the moment, but that can change. And once the economy gets better, it's going to go back down to 1%. So nothing beats the stock market at the moment. So I guess I kind of want to talk about the 3 things that I did that helped me. And the first one is to be aware that one account is not enough. 401ks have several accounts, and putting all your money in one account is like putting all your eggs in one basket. You have to divide it. So when I decided to put $50 away, $100 away every paycheck, it wasn't $100 in one account. It was, let's say, 5 accounts, $20 in each account. And each of those accounts in the past have shown that they run different returns. But regardless, I was like, protecting myself from, if one of them did really bad, my whole account didn't really bad, just some of it, and the rest of it was able to weather the storm. So that was really important to me. And also the second thing was reading. So I opted out of getting electronic, but if you do get electronic, you can still look at it online and read like all the information. My company, they send me like a quarterly update about like how my account is doing. Like they'll do like the levels, and they'll show you the comparisons. So that was cool. But if you go even further into it, they send you a whole bunch of paperwork, child. It's a whole bunch. So this one is like your account summary, how your investments are divided. But one that's really important is like this one right here. It lists like all the accounts that are available to me, and every company is going to be a different. Some may offer 50, some may offer 5, like probably a really small company, I don't know. But mine is a decent company, and it offers at least 10 to 15. And in the beginning, it's like, I don't know what any of this means, but I just divided and conquered. In the first column, it just talks about like the actual names of the funds: stable value trust fund, price value fund, one class, State Street index fund, all this stuff. It sounds like a different language. However, so that one, but the second one tells you to be tight. And so that makes more sense to me. A couple of them are short term, which I'm thinking means it's short term. One of them is bond, which I knew what that one is. That one was from research. The other one was stock, like individual stock. And then the other one is said balance, which means it's a balanced stock fund, which means it is a fund that has a bunch of stock in it. So when you put money into that, you're buying into like, let's say 50 or 100 or 1,000 companies. That right there was helpful. So when I divided it into the different accounts, I made sure that I had one of each, or one of most at least. And then also further down, it tells you how it's doing year to date, how it's doing for every year, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year. And I looked at the 10-year because that's what I care about. So I know for sure I invested in bonds, and that's really low. That's only 2%, but that makes sense because I said 3% earlier, but 1.5 to 3 is not that bad. Not that big of a difference. That makes sense. So some of the money is in there, and then pretty much the rest of it is in some type of stock fund, either straight stock and then I do have some in balance because I want it to be balanced. And I have it done according to my age. And so I do 100 minus my age. So in the beginning, 100 minus 27, it was like 68 in stock, and the 27 was in bonds. Right now, since I'm 35 is in stock, and the remainder is in bonds, which is still highly reliant on bonds in my fund. But like, let's say right now, if something bad were to happen, I'm not going to lose as much because 100% of my stuff is not strictly in stocks. I do have some bonds to break it down. So that's what I have been doing, and it has been working for me so far. And that brings me to my last thing that I did, which was that I did not set it and forget it. Some people say set it and forget it, and I think they mean that to say like, make sure you do it, make sure you put some money in it. And that's true. That's half the battle. But if you set it and forget it, you're doing yourself a disservice because you could be making more money than you are. If you forget it, you don't know where your money's going. I don't know where my money's going. So I'm a little extreme. I do mine every like 2 years, and I have it set up in my iPad. I can show y'all where I'm gonna allocate different things. However, like I would do it at least Every 5 years, you should see how your allocation is. And if, based on your age, if you should be in more bonds, switch some stuff into bonds. Or if you should be in more stock, switch some stuff into stock. But regardless, like, it's not set it and forget it. And I think that is something that is missed. And it's unfortunate because 10 years go by and you lost money unnecessarily. So, for sure, oh yeah. So like, I don't know if you can see it, but so far this is what I've been able to cross out. And I've done like, when I was 32, 34, 36 is coming up, and I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. And they tell you how to do it. There was a process where it's like, I don't know how to do it. And it's important, you have to read like how I did it, how they tell you what to do. Or you can just call your HR people and they can tell you. And I have called my HR people, like, how do I do this? Is this like safe or not safe? And they've walked, once I tell them what I want to do, they walk you through it. So please don't set it and forget it. You have to set it and remember it. And I think for me, it's going to be every 2 to 5 years. Even if you do it, even if I did it every 10 years, that's better than just setting and forgetting it. It is not good. But I say all this to say that, like, I'm doing it to save myself in the future. I'm hoping future self will be happy that I'm doing this for us, because I need to secure the bag. Another thing is 401ks do offer 401k loans. Excuse me. Those are tricky and they have fine print. And throughout the years, when they send you these like quarterly things like, oh, you're eligible for this amount of loan, it's tempting. However, I knew something wasn't good about it. And I found out, like, when you quit your job, which I plan on doing, if I did have a loan, I would be expected to pay that back immediately, the whole thing. I won't have it. So it's good to read the fine print, ask questions. I will say that's another thing that I've done to help yourself be as successful as you can. And it's helped, and I'm really grateful for it. And I can't wait to see like what happens in the future, because I've like kind of equipped myself with the knowledge that I need to kind of decide how I want to steer future decisions. So yeah, thank y'all. I will see y'all soon. But yeah, look into it, read, and ask questions to your HR. The best money decision you could ever make. Have a good day. Bye.